Back to school night. I'm Mr. Ruzicka, your student sociology teacher. I'm really excited to have them in my class and hopefully to have you watching this video. So this is, I try to recreate my classroom as much as possible because I feel like, how you decorate your room reflects a lot of what the teacher cares about and is interested in. So feel free to pause this and take a look. This is our agenda for today. Um, and these are my two wonderful daughters that I'll be home with tonight because they both have COVID and having some serious symptoms. So I typically like to have this be a little more interactive, but it's a little bit harder through video, but we're just going to roll with it anyways. So I'll start off with which school do you think I did not attend? Is it Marquette, Central American University, University of Wisconsin, or Lake Forest College? A lot of people are going to say Universidad Centroamericana, but I did go there. I was there for 6 months doing service, taking classes, engaging in praxis, which is reflection and action. I went to Marquette University for my bachelor's. It was amazing. I loved it there. I actually got my bachelor's in secondary ed and sociology, so I double majored. And my focus was race, class, and the law. And then I had a bunch of minors. I almost had a Spanish minor, but I kind of wanted to graduate, so I got out of there. And plus, my wife's a Spanish teacher, so I don't want to compete with the best. Everything else on here has a lot to do with civics and U.S. history, but if you look on the middle of the page, it says CAST and ASA member. CAST is Chicago area sociology teachers. We really keep a lot of communication open. I've made friends with these people. We meet once a year, but we love sociology. I love sociology. I'm so grateful to be teaching this class, and it's something I've taught from the moment I started. And I did take a little hiatus when I went to St. Pat's. They didn't have me do it, but I was so glad that even though I wasn't looking to move to from St. Pat's, I applied here because I've always wanted to teach at OPRF, and then I got the job. So sorry, St. Pat's, I left, and as you see, I think my finishing date here will be 2053, so I'll be here for a while. But let's talk more about sociology. So these are our goals in sociology. I typically ask which you consider most important, but it's all of them. Right? But initially, when we look at it, it's about the first unit, especially, is about building a framework, language, and understandings to shift society into focus. You can ask your student about what we did with the ball the first couple days, but it's really important to think about like when I throw a ball at you and you catch it, and if I ask you, how did you do that? You would say, "Oh, I just put my hands together. I got it, right?" But what about all the physics behind it? There was gravity in there, there's acceleration, there's velocity. We don't ever think about those parts because it's just common sense. And sociology is where we take what people typically consider common sense and we look at it in that three-dimensional way of like, all right, so what are the factors behind this? And once we can do that, we can build the framework, the language, and understandings to respect sociology as a science. Then we can dive further into like using sociology. And I always tell students, social theory is a superpower. You can see the future, you can see how to get there, and what we can do. And it really shifts all of society into focus. It gives a real deeper understanding. And this also helps us create a lot of empathy for other people when we develop an idea of called sociological mindfulness. This is where we are constantly questioning society, why things exist the way they do. See the strange in the familiar and see the general and the specific, right? And we can do that, but also we can go one step forward and see that we are an agent in society. We can make a difference. And the great thing about sociology is that to make a difference could be a smile. It can be asking a quick question like, how are you doing? It could be picking up something for somebody, right? There's a million things that little things we can do to be a positive agent in society or negative, and it's really our choice. These are the units we get through. To be honest, Unit 5 and mini Unit 6 sometimes get a little truncated first semester because we have a little bit less class time. But we're currently in the sociological perspective. We'll move on to culture, socialization, and deviance. So when it comes to class information, this is an elective, so this hopefully students want to be a part of. And anytime they need to find class information, it's all in Google Classroom. We haven't had a problem yet, so I'm just going to kind of coast over that. The next is, we really need students to be open-minded in this class. So, you should arrive at least 1 minute early, participate and discuss, actively listen, and be open-minded. Participating is important because sociology is a study of social interaction, so we need to interact socially. The other part is that we need to be open-minded because we have to really see all the different perspectives. And there's times where, this one perspective of thought, like functionalism, doesn't seem to make sense. And we need to understand that, critique it, and see, all right, is there any merit in it? Um, for expectations, I just want to communicate to all y'all that I believe expectations is a two-way street. I create these with students, and for your knowledge, there will never be more than 3 homework assignments a week, and there should never be a requirement of more than 25 minutes of out of class time unless it's a project or something major or time wasn't used while in class. I have a policy that students know about if they do reach that 25 minutes, how they then, how do you say, get redirected, how they should contact me and move forward. All right, how will your student be assessed? Proficiency in writing, speaking, and critical concepts. We'll have a graded discussion. We'll have graded writing in this first unit, which they already done, and critical concepts clearly, because that's what sociology is all about. The majority of this class is summative assessment, so like 75 to 80% of the grade is based on that. And we do have a reassessment policy in sociology, and that is as many times as you like, as long as you do something between the time that you get your grade back and you reassess. Also, there's some time requirements, but the students will know this when we get there. But it's within a week of receiving the score, they need to let me know if they want to reassess, and then they should meet with me. That meeting might be 3 minutes, it might be 40 minutes, and then they'll reassess in the week after that. If students are missing work, which shouldn't be a problem, they should put it in the late work folder and email me. Always email me. And late work is due the last day of the unit, so whenever the summative assessment is due. We use a 4-point scale. It's just to eliminate a 0 on a 100-point scale terribly impacts students. Because think about it, 50 out of 100 is an F. 0 out of 100 is a super F. So if we just make it a 4-point scale, there's two things we can do. Number one, we can track better growth, right? We can look at, all right, I'm a 2, I want to get up to a 3. What's the requirements to get to a 3? It's all listed in the rubric. And then it's to eliminate that super F. All right. So that's that. I appreciate your time. I just want you to know I love sociology. I'm already really appreciating your students, and then ask what we're doing in class because it's really interesting stuff. I love staying on top of sociology, and I'm telling you, it's a science of caring about people. You understand this, you understand people, you can empathize, you can make a true difference. Have a great day.